So let's talk about how the legs need to work in the downswing.
Okay.
So a lot of players for a long time, from address to the top of the swing, were almost trying to lock themselves in position, keep their height throughout the swing. But we
I think that's an Australian thing.
Yeah, it is a big time Australian. But we see the most powerful ball strikers in the world. They'll start from a certain height. They will get taller in the backswing, then they will sit down, and then they will explode. And that's just essentially using the ground more efficiently.
Yeah, well, you're gonna see a lot of guys that don't have hip turn, a lot in the backswing. There's a lot of those guys who actually still create a lot of speed.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is because they're really gripping the ground. Okay. They're more into the ground, where a lot of the guys, the long drivers, you're seeing them going more up and finishing, but then using the vertical forces, where these guys with little turn are using a lot more torque.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot less vertical forces, even though they still have the vertical forces or they wouldn't kill the ball. But the fact is they're already tracked into the ground. When I say tracked into the ground, if I looked at this right here, as I usually do this up against the wall, so I'll have my foot, and you see a lot of people now. The first time I ever saw this was with Matt Wolff. Okay, there's 4 players I could name that had a left foot, boom, that originally did that without being taught that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
One would be Matt Wolff, because Matt Wolff, as he starts to actually glide over here, you can see his foot is starting to turn. Okay. So the more the pressure is moving where over here, that heel's starting to turn. Now, if I went over here like this and then planted it, that's a whole different feeling to me. Okay. That's not as powerful.
Yeah.
You look at all the guys with the toe up and started to move this right leg like towards the target to recenter, that heel started to move. So it wasn't over here, let's plant it like that. It was not. This was a natural move. Then I saw Jamie Sedlowski do it. Then you see Rory, who has a lot of hip sway over here, but then at the very top, he starts moving really hard over here, and everybody says, look at him start down, he's bumping. Yeah. No, he's not. I'm sorry, he's moving pressure from here all the way back over here. It's a different type of deal. It's not a bump over there, okay?
Yeah. So a lot of, whereas upper and lower body is from, let's say, lead arm parallel position here in transition, you'll see this almost floating, like he's kind of, and the feeling is hitting downhill.
So you're absolutely correct. So he is hitting downhill, but they're also, as they're doing, you just saw pressure. Now stick your ass back towards me. Yes, and with the spine up. Yeah, you're gonna see a lot more of that. So the ass is going back.
Yeah.
So it's not just, look, I'm gonna keep my butt like this and move everything over here. That's way different than, see the difference? And my butt is actually moving back, because now I'm loading this hip, and I can really create a lot more speed that way, okay? So it's not just the pressure, it's also the pelvis is going more into hip flexion. So I'm gonna have you step up here, and I'm gonna say, okay, let's go up to the top, dig that heel. You're gonna feel way different stretch, okay? So go and duck your foot out a little bit, and I'll move it to you. You feel good there? Yeah. So I'll move it to about right there. Now go ahead and go to the very top and lift your heel off the ground a little bit and spin it towards it and grab it. See that right there? So don't start downswing yet. So that's your backswing. You feel that? Now what I want you to do is push your ass back a little more and get, no downswing. No downswing. I want your shoulder lower. I want you to feel some stretch in there. Now get your right shoulder to retract a little bit more. Yep. And get your chest up a little with the belly down. See that right there? So do you feel any pressure in that, in the body, in the ground now?
Yeah, big time.
Really, really different, right? Okay, now do it again. Now, I'm not asking you to normally spin your heel. Go up top again and lift the heel off the ground and push it over there. Yeah, right there. You feel way different in the knees, the pelvis, the left bend.
Everything's a lot tilted.
Way more into the ground, correct?
Yeah.
So from there, the next thing you do is reflex the right leg and slam the left foot on the ground. Yep, right there. Without even using the arms. Do that one more time.
Yeah.
Left shoulder low. Now start down. Yeah, right there. Yeah. That's what we'd be feeling. Elbow in front more. Right there, good.
That's so I can feel like a lot more pressure through my heels there. Feel like I'm really engaging with the ground and gripping it a lot more.
So one thing that I want most people to understand is I don't have any hip turn at start. What I have is a reflex of the leg and a slam of the left. Boom. That got my hips back to square by left arm parallel. Get your heel on there. Yep, do it again. One more time. Get your heel to move on there. Right there, just so you have the pressure. Now, the first thing I want you to do is reflex this, push this down with your shoulder going, boom. Feel that right there? Your hips are back to square, are they not?
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody at
But it certainly didn't feel like I was spinning out.
You didn't turn first. That's another reason why people's arms get behind them is because they're trying to turn, and that just gets us to go this way. But really it's a plant which with the right leg reflexing, and the reason it reflexes is so I can use it, okay? So if I'm over here and it also lightens what? This side. You see what I'm saying? It actually slams that side. So then I can do what? Use it to extend off. For instance, when I first started doing the leg work, was like a little more like this, and a lot of people go, you got to load in, you got to load in.
Yeah.
Well, it's nothing that I didn't know. The fact is that I have juniors that are slamming the knee in or up this way, okay? So I had to find a creative way to get these guys not to fire the right side. So when I put the basket in, my leg used to move early, and I'd separate it this way before it went in. That helped me a lot. As I've got older, my right leg's stale now, okay? It's just got stale. So now I feel like I'm a kid, and when I put like a box on the ground and say, hey, turn it this way or turn it this way, for me, I gotta turn this box this way. I gotta actually turn it in now. When I was a kid and I went like this, I was turning this back this way so I could actually not have my leg move in. And the problem with the leg moving in, a lot of times it tilts your body back and you get under, start chunking it. And a lot of times people start doing this, their butt sucks in. But if your leg's coming off the ground and your butt's staying back, I have no problem as long as it's not doing this, making you go back or like this. So changing the legs of doing that was fun for me because it got these guys speed too. They're like dropping it. So that was a speed thing, but I never taught everybody that leg work. That's the funny part. But you'll see like YouTube stuff of me teaching. That wasn't my traditional leg work. And my leg work isn't always this way too. The hips got to go first before that. And I'm still a firm believer of when I see somebody get the left leg in, most of the times they're going to be blocked out. I'm sorry, they're going to be blocked out. And somebody said there's a new school and an old school of getting this, because he's right. The leg goes in, the left hip goes back. But now people are jumping back. I have zero problem with that jump back. Matt Wolf does it, okay? So the problem is when you start hitting irons that way, it's not as good because the path starts to throw out to the right because there's no leverage to the ground to keep turning the chest through.
When I was doing some stuff with Smart to Move, that's what they were really trying to get me to do, was get that front foot.
You're trying to push back and run this way, and all of a sudden you're like, okay, I can't turn my chest through it. I'm fucking hitting scoopy shots, you know what I mean? So, and that's another thing, if you think I haven't tried it, you're tripping. So the funny thing is that the hip goes back first, and when I used to watch people do the leg, it was independent of that hip, and that's wrong, okay? So the fact is that you can still have that going in, or you can have this going out and then straighten that way, or you could have it going in and then jumping, or you could have it go in so the hip goes back, then turn it. There's no one way to do it. It's just there's a more powerful way and way more face control when it's continuing to turn. So when I see somebody, like people say the new school is to like extend up like this, the more you see somebody doing this, the more they're throwing it, the less they're turning. So when you see somebody boom, boom, you can hear sound. It's a different sound. Okay, I had a guy here one time had 115 miles an hour speed with an 8-iron, and I was tripping out. And so I took out my 8-iron. He was only hitting it 150 yards, and I was laughing because his handle looked like this. But he was going like this, and I just got my handle for it and chipped one. And he goes, "What's the deal?" I said, "You're just jumping through the thing. You have the speed, but you have your dynamic loft is you're adding with the 8-iron 35, 36 degrees, and mine's like 18 to 22. I'm going to get more distance out of it. You have more speed because you're using, like he said, boom, all this stuff. But I'm more concerned with the D-loft and the compression and the face control than I am just locking it in and jumping, because you ain't getting control of that. I'm sorry. Continuous rotation and all the stall out, because the deceleration happens. Como and I have talked about that. There is a decel, okay? But not an intentional one. I've never tried to intentionally slow down. The only reason I would ever try to slow down is if my face was starting here and I had my normal grip and someone said, hit this, I would never just turn. I would have to have some decel and go like that in order to make that straight. That's what my swing would have to be. You know what I mean? So those are things that I look at and go, okay, let's use common sense instead of everybody fits into this model, everybody fits into this model. I think that's the biggest misconception is You're dealing with the player on the mat. And when I give a tip or you give a tip, we've got to be careful, but we don't. We're giving a tip. If it works for you, it works for you. If it doesn't, didn't mess you up, try it, get rid of it.
Thanks for watching this video. YouTube thinks that you would benefit from watching this one next. So click that card and it could be the tip that you need to take your game to the next level. I'll see you next time.